Hello everyone. Another day, another episode 3 with the Mulmi Place cadets. We have Daniel, Sairaj Mane and Panchanan Maiti. Let's hear them out. What is their story and they want to speak about the placements, Manet and their journey. Hello everyone. Welcome on the channel. Welcome Mane, Maiti. Okay. So we are passing out now. How is the feeling? Finally leaving the hostel and the academy.
Kind of hostel days came to an end, and we have what we can say, like we have more responsibilities now, so kind of happy as well as sad.
Mixed way.
Yeah.
And you?
The feeling is great, I think. From first we are deciding that we want to go home earlier, but now we have came to a phase that we don't want to go from the hostel.
Yes.
As there are many what you can say, we have lived life with our friends the 3 years. These are immemorable. So I think it's a mixed feeling, like Maiti said, happy and sad.
And what about you?
Yes, as he rightly said, it's a mixed feeling. So we have a lot of feelings that one side we are very excited that after 3 years of struggle we are going back to our house, and next there will be a new journey where we'll be joining our first ship and all those. And at the same time, somewhere in the corner of our heart we'll be missing our friends and the hostel life. And that's a good thing that life goes on and we have to go on as well.
Exactly. So few things you would like to say about Manet hostel and the academy. How you would describe your 3 years at Manet Academy and at the hostel.
So academy is good. Like we have our faculties, which are very experienced faculties here teaching as well. Also talking about the placements here. Placements are quite well. Like if you go to any academy, you study, you will get the placements. This is simple criteria. So we are saying that college has 50% record, 60% record. Don't go there. If you have the capability to study, you can do anything in any college. It's simple. Then now about the hostel, the infrastructure is well, as you also see on the websites, the photos, also hear from the seniors. So the infrastructure is well. All the facilities like food and all the rooms like cleaning and all, it's happening regularly. So there is no anything like body infrastructure.
You all are passing out with the placement batch.
Yeah.
And few unfortunately can't get placed because of their academics. I can't exclaim on that, but don't get placed because of some reasons. So you are the lucky ones.
It's different criteria of bodies of selecting.
Exactly.
placements.
The company's criteria, some want the entry criteria is 60% PCM. IUCT says, any other colleges says. But few companies they take on 65% PCM, 70%, 75%. Some have that you have to be 80% in English. Overall you have to be 75 and above. All these criteria somehow
Means for different 20s there are different criteria.
Exactly.
So
in that only many of them gets filtered out, and
Yes.
unfortunately they are the ones who can't get
In
placed.
academics also
And
you
when
have this
it-
all clear.
when it came to Molvi, so there were around 80 cadets who were not placed at that time.
Exactly.
And the shortlist that came from the company, it was just for 20 cadets.
Yes.
Just 20 cadets were the ones who were sitting for the company, and that was a very short list. So there a lot of people lose their chances. But yes, Manet, it's good. There are a lot of companies that have come, and at the same time we have seen the record that even if you pass out, there are the placement cell team which is always ready, and they give you placement and support at the same time even after you
You
pass
pass out. They call
So
you.
that's
This
the
is
good
the
thing
about Manet. If you're not placed and you pass out, still the placement cell is behind you. They will contact you that yes, a company is coming, and you have to report, and you have to appear for the interview and the other tests that a company takes. Yes.
yes, means after pass out you have to be all clear.
Yes,
No
exactly.
background.
That is the
so
thing.
you will definitely get placed after pass out.
Exactly, and you get opportunities in offshore, on the sea, everywhere.
Yes.
You can work if you want to work in the shipping industry, you are there if you are all clear. What all procedures you all went through for getting selected in Molvi?
So, For us, the procedure was first thing that was the shortlist, and then we had the CES test. The CES test is completely technical, which
Seagull
Seagull
CBT.
So it's the Seagull CBT. So we have all kind of technical tests. It involves your LSA, FFA, life-saving appliances, and firefighting appliances. And then we get questions from navigational aids, ROR, and all sorts of things. So it is basically focusing on your technical things. So next thing, it will be the essay writing. So essay writing will be done. They'll give you a random topic which will be given on the spot. So you have to write a full page of essay. So at our time, it was given about safety of navigation, which is the chapter 5 of SOLAS. So we had to write an essay, and immediately after that, in the afternoon, we had our interviews. So whole procedure that was done for Molmi, it
In
was
one day.
in a single day. So that's the thing with Molmi.
It was a hectic day. Like from one's point of view, it was a hectic day
Yes,
and
yes.
quite challenging and nervous.
Yes, we came around at 9. So at 9 we were here tip-top with our blazers on. We were ready for the interview. Then we were not even knowing that we will be having our interview that
The same
day
day.
itself. So we were informed after our essay writing that you all will be having your interview, and on the spot we got our shoes tied up, and we were on the spot ready for the
Yes,
interview.
I remember that you all came to the mess and again you all hurried up
Yes, yes.
to the center to give the interviews.
Before it was like filtering criteria, like after Seagull test, they filtered cadets. But from our batch, it didn't filter. I think we scored more in Seagull everyone.
No,
Because of
actually, it was only 20 cadets.
There were 20 cadets.
Earlier, they were for seniors. They were like
50, 60, I
yeah,
remember.
they shortlisted 50, 60 cadets and then take a Seagull test. Then they shortlist 20 cadets, and after that, this after in essay, then they shortlist again. Then those shortlisted cadets they take a interview.
Yes, like so mane like here, like you are a kabaddi player. You are like all clear, you do well. Like you don't have a star, but you know that you are a star holder. So how you manage all these things with studies and everything?
And if you want to manage anything, you can do anything. So you'll find reasons somehow to complete everything. Like you have to play sports and manage studies as well. You can do that. Like we have our academics from morning 9 to 5. You can study and you can manage your time there. Studying like after you study after evening in the evenings. So you can manage that time in the college hours. And after that, from 5 onwards, you can manage your sports activities, etc. Everything. And the rest.
Okay. So what are preparation tips you would like to give to those who are particularly appearing for Molmi, or their dream company is to get selected in Molmi?
See, whatever you are learning in your syllabus, learn that. And about that, you have to like practice for the Seagull CBT test, which is available online. So you can download the app like for bulk carrier, general cargo, and oil tankers.
Containers.
Yeah, 2-3 apps are there for that. So you can practice for CBT test. And for essay, you have to learn everything, all those Marco, LSFFA, and all which are included in the syllabus. So you have to be like prepare everything for that. For technical, you have to prepare everything.
And then Daniel
And
for
I would like to add on, as he rightly said, the apps. And one main thing I would like to put into is there are updated apps. So there
Yes.
are outdated apps. At the same time, there are updated apps. So I would give you a tip that go for updated apps, because there is an updation that is done every year. So you will be keeping up with the updates. And one more thing, you have to learn the basic ship operation technology very well, about the anchoring and all those stuffs, and navigational equipments. For me personally, when my interview was going on, so they were focusing mainly on navigational equipments, like all the bridge equipments. I was asked about almost 10 to 12 navigational equipments as well, and that too in deep. So that's the main thing. And one more main thing that Molmi focuses on is safety related questions. So what they expect from their cadets is that they don't need any kind of error or yes or no in safety related questions. So if you are sure, then say yes. If not, just say so I'm not sure about it. I'll make sure that I learn it afterwards.
because safety can't be done like buts and ifs.
Yes.
It is yes or no.
Yes
you
or
know
no.
it, you know it, you don't know, you don't know it. Like one interview question I would like to ask you both. Like I'm not the interview, but still,
Yeah.
why did you join Mochede?
Oh.
You answer why you joined Merchant Navy, why Manet, and why BSc. Start.
So for me, Merchant Navy, like I live in Mumbai. Okay, so there was a ship in 2011, it was MV Wisdom. It was grounded in Juhu,
Okay.
Juhu Beach. So at that time, I was like in 2011, maybe I was in third or fourth standard, I don't know. But so I live near the beach only. So in the evening, I went to see that people were discussing. "Arey, there was a big ship grounded, big ship, big ship." So I went to see it, and
It was
like,
huge.
it was very huge. I never saw. I was only saw in a TV Titanic. So after that, I was quite fascinating seeing that so big ship. Then I was started googling or searching about ship, and then in Google description, I came to know about Merchant Navy.
Okay.
What is this Merchant Navy? I heard about Indian Navy. What is this Merchant Navy? And then I searched about Merchant Navy, and then after that, all knowing about all the pros and cons, it was in 7th. I decided that it is my career. I want to choose this career. I want to choose Merchant Navy as my career.
Great choice,
Yeah.
Manet.
So before telling why Manet, I would like to answer the question why I have joined
Merchant Navy.
Like not faking like I have joined. I am here for money. First of all, as also I am living in Mumbai. There are ships. We are visiting frequently that I love. So I have joined a career which is giving me money, as well as I love that. So I am here in Merchant Navy. And why Manet, I have low PCM percentage, so because of which I can't opt to DNS, that is Diploma in Nautical Science. So I have also tried many colleges exams like Tolani, which is very popular. So I can't crack the interview process, and then the next great or best college after Tolani was Manet. So because of which I joined Manet here. And also I have seen the previous records of placement, they have a MOL training center here, which would first took half of the cadets from
Manet.
So by seeing all these, then the infrastructure, the faculties, the facilities what we are getting, the environment, the sports facilities, and also it has the high tech technologies also we have a simulator here,
Yes.
which shows a real experience of on board. So seeing all these facilities, I have joined Manet.
Okay. Why BSc?
BSc because I'm not that one who has a great love for all the machineries and engineering. So I was the one who always wanted to do something other than engineering. So our side, what was every single person or everyone says, no, I'm doing engineering, computer science engineering, and all those stuff, mechanical engineering. So I wanted to do something else, and here I saw Manet had both BSc and
And
BTech.
B.Tech.
And one more thing that was key, I'll start my career 1 year before.
Yes.
So that was the one thing that time we were not mature enough to know what is the actual difference between BSc and
And
BTech.
B.Tech.
To be frank, we were not that familiar about BSc and BTech. So the first thing that came to my mind was 3 years of course of BSc and 4 years of BTech. So that's the truth that one thing was I took BSc. And the other thing, I went on with all the YouTube videos, as you have your YouTube channel now. So there are a lot of others who have their YouTube channels.
Yes.
So I used to go on and see all the mechanical engineers doing their hard work down below in the engine room, and all these fancy captains who are on the
Sitting in
bridge,
the chair,
sitting with the chair,
coffee.
sitting with the coffee, and with their sextant doing all those stuff. So I was fascinated towards BSc more. And one thing, BSc leads to captain who is the boss of the ship.
Yes.
Exactly. So I would like to end this video with one last question. Like being a part of the maritime sector, like nowadays, automation has been introduced in our industry. Like ports are getting fully automized. The ships. Yeah. Also, a few months ago, I came across a news that the first fully automated ship, without any human, I guess, or they have put on sail. So what
From
do you?
Japan actually.
Exactly. I saw I didn't read whole of the article, but I just saw that title that a fully first autonomous ship has been sailed on. So what is your take? What pros and cons will this automation have on the seafarers?
The autonomous shipping is very good from our perspective, but it will take more of the seafarers' job. Like they'll become homeless. A ship will run humanless. Like there will be no human. So if there is any error on board, so there will be no one to repair that. So I think this autonomous shipping should not be coming. It will take more of the cruise jobs. So it's my perspective.
But you both?
When we joined Magic, we had this subject as English communication.
Yes.
So the first thing that was given, the first topic that was given for our essay was automation
In shipping industry.
So I would like to add on, whatever might be the reason for shipping industry to run a ship, there need to be humans on board, because as nature, bad weather, it can be anything at any circumstance. There might be any situation which might not be able, that a person sitting on the shore can handle it from his computer and he can guide the ship. So we need humans on board in order to tackle that situation. And all through these 3 years, what we are taught? We are taught to handle a ship. So humans are a must on the ship, and to run a ship, human beings are needed. Let's see that in future there are minimization of crew from 20 to 10,
15.
but at the 15. So what about those 5? Those 5, they will be getting a job 100% on the shore, because they have the experience of sailing on the ship,
Exactly.
and they will be more, what I can say, more experienced or more capable of handling the ship from offshore as well. So that's the thing with automation in shipping industry.
Yeah, as he said that automation in shipping, that ship won't be without human. There may be human,
Like less human.
less crew members. So in short, I would like to say that the AI can't what we say.
Fully replace you.
Yeah, AI can't replace human.
Nothing can like the instinct we have to follow.
Yeah.
The actions we have to take in the middle of the sea when a rough sea or any other things happen. That time a machine will take the action which is already fed into it.
Yeah.
It can't go against it. What is not there into the system.
The common sense, what we say.
Common sense, exactly.
The merchant navy seafarers have more common sense. Meant for that common sense. But AI, how can a AI be like common sense? How they can apply?
It will only have the algorithms of zero.
Yeah,
and
algorithms of what they have been
Programmed with.
Programmed.
Exactly. And one more thing I would like to add is that what to say, if we seafarers upgrade ourselves with all these skills, the extra courses we are doing,
Yes.
with that also, like we can be in those 15, like in the future when the ships will be like less than 20 crew.
Yeah.
So that time to be in that 10 or 15, we have to be like upgraded. We have to do our skills, be best on that. Then we'll not lose our jobs.
Yes.
That is the point like we all want to convey.
Yes.
Okay, so here we come to the end of the video. Thank you for giving the time. Thank you, Maiti.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this video, like, share and subscribe, and do forward this video to those who are interested in joining Merchant Navy and Management. Thank you.